Hi everyone, my name is Anna and welcome to my FlossTube channel called the Alchemist Stitcher. This is my second episode. I filmed the first one about a week ago and I did not expect so many of you to watch it. I knew, I was hoping that at least a few people would, but to see that big of a response is really amazing. I'm glad so many of you have liked my projects, have commented, and have told me what projects you are all working on. So it's been really fun to go through the comments and see what everybody else is working on, to see what projects you like the most, to get comments from some of the FlossTubers that I've been watching for years now. It's really cool to be recognized by them because I feel like they're celebrities in my head. I know they're just normal people, but it was really cool to connect with everybody. So thank you so much for watching my first video, and if you haven't watched it, you can go to my channel and look at my previous video. So today I wanted to film a little bit of an update. I know it's only been a week since my last FlossTube, but I don't think I will be able to film another episode maybe for another month. So today is my day off, and I just wanted to film a few things that people have requested and also film a little bit of an update on the projects that I did work on, and then we'll see when the next episode comes out. In 2 weeks I will be off again. But I will not be able to film. I'm off every other Friday. So the Friday that will be off next, I won't be able to film because I am going on a cross-stitching retreat. I'm going to be at the retreat called When You Wish Upon a Star in Anaheim, next to Disneyland. I've never been to a retreat before. That's going to be my first time, so I'm super, super excited. I wanted to go last year, but my kids were just too young and I felt bad leaving my husband with my kids for multiple days at a time alone. But this year they're old enough, and I've asked him if I can go, and he said, sure, go ahead, have a good time. So I'm taking the opportunity. As soon as he said yes, I bought the tickets. So I'm really, really, really excited to go and basically spend 2.5 days meeting everybody, meeting the actual FlossTube or cross-stitching community in person, and seeing what everybody else is working on, and get hopefully mostly uninterrupted cross-stitching time, which those of you who have young kids, is extremely hard to get at this stage of our lives. I'm actually also very curious, those of you who are retired, what is it like to just be able to cross-stitch whenever you want? And how much time do you actually spend cross-stitching? Do you do it every day, or do you still end up, being busy with other things around the house or grandkids or whatever? Because I'm planning for my retirement. I know it's a long time from now, but I'm a dreamer. Financially, I'm planning for it, and I just can't wait. I can't wait to retire. And for some reason in my head, I'm imagining that I'm going to have all this free time in the world, and I'm going to be able to cross-stitch as much as I want and make huge progress in all of my pieces. But I'm sure it's probably not even the reality. So I'm just kind of curious what your experience is with not working, not having having more time to cross stitch. Let me know in the comments below if you're one of those people that I'm very jealous of. Okay, I got some comments from people that they wanted to see my old projects, so I'm going to show you 3 projects. The first piece I worked on when I was a child, probably 9, 10, 11. It's very old, so I apologize that the fabric is discolored. I tried to wash it, but it really did not It's still yellow. And I have to explain, like, this was a cross stitch pattern, that I bought when I was a child, and I had to buy all of the DMC floss separately. And okay, I'll just have to show you, and then I'll tell you the story behind it. Okay, so this is basically my very first full coverage project that I did as a child. I did this was, I'm pretty sure this is 14 count Aida, and it was 3/1 strands. But I think I started this one at the bottom left, and then I worked my way up. But the colors, there's an issue with colors. If you can see the darker blue, I want to say this is DMC 806. When I was working on this project, I would go to the store and buy individual skeins of DMC one by one because I couldn't afford to buy all of them at once. So my mom would give me enough money to just go buy one color that I need, and this project required a lot of this blue. So about halfway through the project, I needed more of this 806 blue. And my mom gave me money to go to a cross-stitching store that we had just down the street. It was like a brand new embroidery cross-stitching store that opened up, and I used to just go in there every day and just stare at the kits they were selling and salivate, basically. But I couldn't buy any of them or afford any of them. One point, I decided to start buying my DMC there because it was a little bit cheaper. And the lady who was working there, well, first of all, they didn't have DMC floss. They carried Anchor floss. And the lady working there ensured me that the colors would match. She just looked at the chart. And when I told her it's 806, she matched it with the color according to the chart, but it was not the same color. So this right here on the dolphin, it's supposed to match this blue right here, but it obviously is a lot lighter. So I felt like that kind of screwed up the whole project. It did not come out looking how it's supposed to because the blues just did not match as well. Maybe I'm just being extra critical. I don't know. But and look, I just had this. I bought enough thread. I was a kid. I didn't know what I was doing, so I bought a piece of fabric, but it was obviously barely big enough. Look, I only have 2 rows of empty fabric left at the bottom, and I didn't know about fraying. It obviously frayed. I think I ended up. I don't know what you call it, but finishing the edges a little bit so it wouldn't continue to fray. But this was my very first piece as a child, so I don't think I'll ever hang it up, but I just been keeping it in my memories box for all these years. So it's over 20 years old at this point. Okay, the next piece is also a piece I worked in Russia when I was probably 10 or 11 years old. This was my New Year's Day present. We don't get Christmas presents in Russia. We do New Year's Day presents. So my parents have surprised me and bought this kit for me. It's called, it was a sunset kit, which I think is owned by Dimensions. And it's called Winter Outing. And I fell in love with it. When I got it, it was set in it was like the most luxurious kit you can get as a child. And the fact that my parents were able to afford it was so, I just felt like I was so spoiled and so grateful to get this kit as my gift. But this is what I'm saying, why I said that, why I don't like 10 stitch. The only parts that are full cross in this kit are the tree, the houses, the horse, and then this, and a little bit of, expect my, and then a little bit of the house right here. But the rest, the sky, the tree, everything is 10 stitch, and it would vary, some of the places it was two strands of floss, or one strand of floss, or 3 strands of floss. And then there was back stitching. Oh, I hate back stitching with passion. I hate it so much that I actually kind of cheat. Like, took shortcuts when I was doing it. So I didn't even look at this. I just traveled a lot with one string because I didn't want to attach it. I hated it with passion. I just wanted a full cover. I just wanted to have all crosses because I wanted to work on this as long as possible, cherish it, and get my value out of it. So even though I really, really love how it came out, to me as a child, I just wished it had more full crosses. But I still love it. Also, when I was younger, somebody gave me an advice to grid my fabric with a number 2 pencil. And I was told that it will come off in the wash, but it actually doesn't. And now I know, as an adult, I know that pencil marks do not actually come off. So if you look closely, you can still see the pencil marks in the sky. And I've tried to wash them off many times, but they don't come off. So lesson learned the hard way. And now I just buy pre-gridded fabric because I can afford it, and I don't have to spend a super long time making or gridding my own fabric myself. And then the third last piece that I've worked on, this was it. I bought this kit. This was my first kit that I bought in the United States when I moved here as a teenager, and I worked on it through high school. It probably took me 2 or 3 years to complete. But even in high school, I didn't know that pencil marks don't come off. So I've gridded this fabric myself with a very thick pencil marks, and they did not come off. So because of the pencil marks, I don't ever see myself hanging this or framing this or hanging this anywhere. So I finished it, I put it away, and that's it. Okay, and then this is a dimension gold. Let me see. The Gold Collection Dimensions kit, and it's called a Stroll. I don't think they make this kit anymore. I'm pretty sure it's discontinued. When I look at it, I only see it come up on eBay. This one I was happier with because this whole dress was all full cross. So I was happy to do full crosses here. But again, there was 10 stitch, 10 stitch, by the way, means only half cross for those of you who might be new to FlossTube, to cross stitching hobby. So the river, the trees, the sky background was all half crosses, 10 stitch. And then there was a lot of back stitching, which again, I hate. I despise it with my whole heart. And then there were even some French knots in her hair that I had to make. Only a few, so I didn't mind. But the back stitching. So basically, when I was younger, I just thought these are the only options that were available for cross stitching. So I thought I had to buy a dimensions kit to have a project. I didn't know that you can make your own charts or buy charts and buy your own DMC and pick whatever you want to work on. So that's why when I discovered FlossTube and various kits and modern cross stitch kits that you can now buy in digital PDF format, patterns, it just blew my mind. So yeah, those are my 3 projects. I don't think I'll ever show them again. And I don't plan on framing any of them. But yes, it was a lot of work, and they did take me a long time to finish each one. but I like projects that take a long time to finish, which is great because I have enough projects to keep me busy for at least 20, 30 years now. Okay, what's next that I wanted to mention? I want to talk about the name of my channel and how I came up with it, Alchemist Stitcher. I am a chemist. That's what I do for a living. I work in a lab. I've been there for over 9 years now. That's what I got my degree in, and I absolutely love what I do. I am now more in a project management role, but I'm still very much involved in day-to-day chemistry testing and reviewing data, knowing all about the different methods that we use for testing. So that's like part of my identity. I'm a chemist, but I'm also a Taylor Swift fan. And as probably some of you know, Taylor Swift, in her latest album, she has a song called The Alchemy, which is one of my favorite songs. So combining chemist with Taylor Swift song, I came up with Alchemist Stitcher. So that's where I don't know. I just had to come up with a name, and that's what came to my mind, and that's where I'm running with. What else? Some of you have asked me about my snake. I probably will show him for a split second, or maybe put pictures of him or her. We don't really know the gender, but we got him a couple months ago. My daughter, my 3-year-old daughter, was begging us to get a snake. She loves pets. She wants all of them. So we never thought we would own a snake ever. But then we ended up doing some research to see how hard it is to actually take care of a snake and what it entails. And turns out, at least the snake that we picked out is really easy to take care of compared to all the other pets we've had. This has been the easiest pet we've ever owned. And he's just a baby snake, baby corn snake. His name is Buttons. So let me go show you him. So here's Buttons. My kids named him Buttons. And I think my daughter came up with that name. And there's nothing we could do to make them change their mind or come up with a different name. So we're going with Buttons. He is a corn snake. I forget the name, the morph name. It's like a black, I don't know. It starts with an A-M something. But he's really, really cool. And he's still a baby. And he's still growing. So it'll be interesting to see how big he's going to get. He's supposed to get to 4 to 6 feet long when he is older, when he's an adult. But he is just the cutest and very docile. So those of you, like I was used to think I would be scared of snakes, but it turns out that obviously some snakes could be more aggressive, but corn snakes are very, very chill and very, very nice. So now this gives me permission to find patterns that have snakes on them because I feel like now I'm a snake lady. I'm totally sold on snakes. I wish I could have more, but I don't have enough space for more enclosures. Yeah, he's really cool. So that's it. Maybe I'll show it once he's grown. When he gets bigger, I'll bring him out again to see how big he is. It'll be kind of interesting to document and to see that. Okay, and now let me get to my cross-stitching updates. I gotta say, having a FlossTube channel and having so many people invested and interested in the projects that you're doing is extremely motivating. If I knew that earlier, I probably would have started my channel a lot earlier. I thought it would kind of add pressure or add another stress, but it's honestly just been a lot more fun, and I feel like I'm not alone anymore. Before, I would just cross-stitch for myself, and I'll be the only one that's interested, that I know that's interested in this hobby. But now I feel like I'm not alone, and I have all of you guys to keep me going, and also it's really cool to have so many people be interested in what I'm working on and the progress that I'm making. So the first one, of course, we're gonna start with Dream. Here's how. I'm not very good at editing yet, so I'm gonna show the pictures of what it's gonna look like. This is the Dream by Ruda Art, and hopefully I'll figure out how to insert the before photo. And this is where it looks like now, a week later. So far I have, since the last time I filmed, I've put in 1,410 stitches. I was just finishing her pajama. I don't know. I think it's a pajama that she's wearing. And then just a little bit more in the background here. Oh, I love Gagarush kits so much. They're just so well made, and the patterns are just amazing. So yeah, I've put in. Now I'm at 66.19%. So I've done more than 1% of progress since the last time. And honestly, I don't know if I would have cross-stitched this much if it wasn't for FlossTube. So it's kind of cool. Okay, the next project. I also found myself working on a lot more projects within the week that I usually do. I usually just pick one or two and stick with it, but I've been wanting to work towards my goal of getting to 1% on most of my WIPs that are not at 1% yet. So I did work on the Fuyu Winter kit as well. Here's how the finished cross stitch will look like, and this is what I've done since I last filmed. So I've put in 446 stitches. It's just been black, background black. So what I've been doing for this part is I just wanted to outline this right here with black, and so it's easy to just fill in the background with black without even looking at the chart. So added more here, modded her here, did a little bit here, and then I started to fill in here, and I've put in a few of the colored stitches here too. So that's where it's at. It's still kind of in a boring stage for this chart, but it's nice to have one that I can just take with me, take some black thread, and I don't need to bring my my Kindle with me. Kindle is what I use for my pattern keeper, and I can just work on this as time allows. So it's really nice to have for change. And then the next kit, I made a little bit of more progress on. Again, another kit that I'm trying to reach 1% first is the Succubus by Unconventional X Stitch. This is how it will look like when it's done. And then hopefully I'll insert the before photo for you, but this is where I'm at now. So I've put in an extra 382 stitches. This is just background, so a lot of just checker type stitches, different colors. And it's on 28 count. I have some random needle minders from Gagarush that don't go with any kits. I think I've been using the feature Add Mystery Minder. So some of the projects that I have that I just only bought a chart, I don't have matching needle minders. And then when I don't, I usually just have a random needle minder from Gagarush that I stick on. Okay, next. I did work a little bit on my long dog sampler called Night of Passion. So I've added 248 stitches. So I've just worked in this corner right here. Yeah, I just wanted to work on something easy and make more progress in this. Honestly, this whole chart is only, I think, 7,000 stitches. So if I wanted to, I could probably finish it really quickly. But it's a small project, and I usually just bring it on the road with me. If I'm going somewhere, I can always just bring it with me. But again, not as fun, for me personally, not as fun as working on full coverage pieces that I have. Okay, the next one is Overgrown Treehouse that I'm trying, charted by Contemporary Cross. And I'm trying to get to 1% by the end of the year. So since I filmed my last video, I've put in another 216 stitches. So now I'm 0.49%. So almost 0.5%. Yay. So I'm just trying to imagine double this, and that's just 1%. Oh my God, this chart is huge, but it will be so much fun to see. For me to see myself complete such a big chart, and hopefully not get tired of it by the time I'm close to finish. So I think I just worked a little bit here. So I'll try to insert the before photo. Okay, and then best for last. I'm glad a lot of you have agreed with me that Henry Cavill is the most handsome man alive. So we had, oh, actually it's not the best. It's not the last, I still have one more chart. But I've worked on The Witcher, and I've added 225 stitches. So I'll try to put in, where is my Witcher? I'll try to put in a before photo. There he is. This is how he will look like. It's charted by Thread Geeks. And this is the 90,000 stitch size one, so I think it's the large size. And this is where I'm at. So now I am at 9.50%, so almost the 10%, 9.5%. And I love this chart. It's so much fun to stitch on it. And then another piece that I ended up finding myself, as soon as I was done filming FlossTube and I've put away all my projects, the chart that called the most to me was Sweet Summertime. Even though I have reached my 1% goal already, I just remembered how much I love Sweet Summertime. So I couldn't help myself. I wanted to put in more stitches on it. So, there we go. So here's, there we go. This is how it's going to look like when it's done. It's started by Contemporary Cross. And it's so beautiful. I ended up showing it to my boss, and she is obsessed with bees, and she loved it. So maybe I'll give it to her when I'm done. I don't know. It'll be a few years from now. She'll have to be patient. But as long as she doesn't retire in the next 10 years, she might get it. So yeah, I've added, let's see, 330 stitches to this. So now I am at 1.16%. And I really love it. I think I want to work on it. This is all I want to work on, is this one right now. It just, every time I look at it, it calls me. I don't have any like organized way of rotating my projects. I don't spin any wheels. I've tried that before. I've created like a wheel with half of the projects that I thought, oh, I'm gonna spin it every day and see what I get. And then the next month I'll choose the second, another 5-6 projects that were not on the first wheel, and basically kind of rotate them every other month. Rotate the 2 wheels every other month and pick the projects that I get in the wheel. But I just didn't stick to it, and whenever I would get something that I don't want to work on. I ended up not working on it, and I still just pick up whatever projects I feel like working on. So I don't have any strict way of going about my stitching. I set very minimal goals. The only thing I know for sure is that I want to finish Dream first. So I try to work on it every day. Unless I'm really burnt out, then I pick up a different project. So I only want to have one focus piece at a time. And then whenever I have free time or I'm tired of working on the focus piece, I just pick up whatever project I feel like. And then my other small goal is to get to 1% on the projects that I haven't gotten to 1% on, which actually I think is not a very hard goal anymore. I only have 4 projects that I've shown you that I'm not at 1% yet. There's a couple more projects that I've just barely have started. So maybe we'll see. We'll see how much progress I make, but maybe I'll work on those 2 other projects at the end of the year to get them to 1% as well. And I'm trying to minimize my new starts. I might do a new start during the retreat, on the retreat. I haven't 100% committed to that. I try to be very intentional with the projects that I do start now, because I feel like I have enough already to keep track of and rotate and make progress on. But yeah, that's basically all the progress I've made. If any of you are gonna be at the retreat, please say hi. I'm really curious to see what retreats are like, if it's something I would want to do every year. Luckily, this retreat is at Disneyland or near Disneyland, and it's only 20 minutes away from me, so I didn't rent a hotel or anything, so I'm just gonna drive there every day, spend all day there, come home, spend the night, come back. It starts, I think, on November 7th at 4 p.m. So I am working that day. I might request a few hours off to leave a little bit earlier, just so I can make it to the retreat on time. I know parking will be expensive near Disneyland, probably $40, $50 a day. But hopefully that'll be my only big expense. At least I'm not staying at a hotel and paying for the hotel, so that's nice. But yeah, hopefully I get to meet a lot of you at the retreat. Don't be shy, come say hi. How many projects should I bring to the retreat? What do people do? I don't know. I'm so lost. Right now in my head, I'm thinking on one day I'll only work on Dream, and just for fun to see how much progress I can get done on one project in one day with uninterrupted stitching. I think it'll just be a cool record to set for myself and to see what that number is. But I can't imagine working on that one project for 2.5 days. So I know I want to bring other projects. But then I can't, it's like picking your favorite child. You can't pick one. So, but I also can't fit them all and bring them with me. I guess I could leave them in the car. I don't know. Let me know, how many projects do you guys bring to retreats? What do y'all do? I know like starting new project is a thing. Is it because then you're reminded every time you bring out that project, you're reminded of the retreat, the way you started on, or just is it a thing that everybody gets new starts at their retreat? Let me know. Anyways, so hopefully I don't know when I'm gonna film my next update. If I don't get any time around the retreat to film, then the only time I see myself filming my next episode would be 4 weeks from now. I'll try to find the time to film before then, but I can't make any promises, because finding the day when I don't have any kids and I have the whole house to myself without my husband here is really rough when you work full time, unless I kick them out on the weekends. So we'll see. But if not, if I don't post any updates, I will try to post more frequent updates on my Instagram. Same handle, Alchemist Stitcher. So feel free to follow me on Instagram and see my progress. And then I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.